Hello, one and all. My name is Talaic, and we are here today with Fallout 76. It is a free week this week, so I wanted to try it out and see if it was worth the money. It's also half price, so if it is good, I might buy it. But we're going to take a look and see what's going on. I just hit play, so I'm not really sure what we're getting into, but they're adding some kind of battle royale mode. So I don't know if it's going to put us into the actual game or if we're only allowed to play Battle Royale during all this. But we'll find out.
War never changes. In 1776, this great nation accepted that armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation. That is why today, July 4th, 2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault Tech, but it was built by you, the good people of America, so that if the bombs do come, if the end does come, our way of life will endure. But not everyone will be saved. Those chosen to enter this vault must be our best and our brightest. For when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled, you must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself. So as we stand here today, we pray that the world will know peace. But if that is not our destiny, if war must come, we stand together, knowing that here in Vault 76, our future begins.
Wait, wait, well, wait, well, wait, well. Hey, baby, how you doing? You doing good? Mm-hmm. Hmm? Hmm? Yeah, me too. I see you got that nice ass. Hmm. Where you going after this? You like some coffee? And do you offer some coffee? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Critical? Surprised. Critical? Yeah. No chin? Define chin. Nah. But I only wanted to get some coffee. You didn't want to go get no coffee with me? Let's go put some sugar in it and some cream, and we were gonna have a good time. Wow. No, no, not meatloaf again. I only like the caramel macchiatos and man, your butt's looking real big today. Do you ever even do squats? Man, well, that's never gonna look right ever again. Whoa. Okay. Take a photo. Use move and. Ah. Oh, it won't let me leave. I was just gonna be like, yo, I'm just gonna go take a picture of somebody else here real quick. Why do I disappear like that? I want to get a good look up my nose. What if I wanted to look at my butt or something? Like, you just gonna, like, take this away from me? Yep, that's me. Blast radius. Rad power. They've added, like, a whole new game. Whoa, what's that one? Oh, well, it's getting away from me. Unstoppable. Oh, I can just sit down and just jam out. Well, that's enough of that. Everything looks so clean and nice. Those are green now? And black? Wow, I have a lot of alcohol. This is just my... Well, that's clearly the same. This game essentially is Fallout 4 in multiplayer. In case you hadn't noticed. So pretty much all the graphic styles and animations are the same. They just added more, I don't know. I guess you could say character models. They do have new monsters and everything. But they mostly added more, like, I don't know, item models. I don't know what the right word would be for that. Whoa, who didn't finish their dinner? What the hell? 2? What? Ain't nobody finished their dinner around here? That pencil is a pencil topper. I haven't seen one of those since, like, 3rd grade. Alright, well, that kind of sank into the ground a little bit. Do I just take this off every night? At least this one's made out of leather, not some weird, disgusting plastic. Oh, you can only have one camp? We're not even out of the vault yet. Who decided that we're gonna just go ahead and use caps as currency? When did that get decided? Dearest Lisa, do you know that my heart skips a beat every time you enter? Your sweet voice rings milk and 3 sugars, please, in my dreams. I long to kiss you. I want. You only know me as the one who makes muffins, delivers drinks, but I am so much more. I have seen the Congo. I have visited indigenous tribes in the South Pacific. Too boastful? I want to be with you. I want to protect you. I want. Needy, nag, nag, nag. 25 years after the vault doors close, you are to prepare your citizens to leave Vault 76 and begin a process called reclamation. Specifics will be disseminated automatically as that time approaches. After Reclamation Day, you are personally ordered to find and secure 3 nuclear silos code-named Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. If these sites are still nuclear capable, ensure no one except Vault-Tec can access or launch nuclear ordnance. To be clear, even if there are other authorities, whether government, militia, or otherwise, their claims are to be ignored. Vault-Tec alone maintains jurisdiction. Vault 76 is one of the most important projects the Vault-Tec has completed. No expense has been spared on building, staffing, and selecting the inhabitants of your vault. The cream of the crop of America have been chosen, including luminaries from Vault-Tec University. The special classes and instructions you've received about managing a vault do not apply to this assignment. Vault 76 is special. Your mission is to see to the livelihood and well-being of all your residents and make sure they're ready to colonize America once the all clear is received. It is to be expected you will face challenges we haven't prepared you for. Adapt, learn, and thrive. America is counting on you. Due to the aptitude of the vault residents, you may be presented with unique challenges in maintaining order. As a last resort, each domicile can be locked down and the resident imprisoned for any duration you deem appropriate. Enforced solitary confinement can lead to psychological issues, so factor that in. Although the vault doors cannot be opened from the inside, keep the entry clear of all unauthorized personnel. The security team will stow all weapons and munition after the amended entry period and will be armed solely with non-lethal devices. If America is to be rebuilt, every life in this vault is special. Preserve them all. Our studies have shown, even after a relatively short duration of living with the amenities of Vault Tech, that test subjects can grow to depend on them. That will not do for Vault 76. After the all-clear message is received, Vault 76 will shut down all functions inside of 24 hours. Air circulation will cease last, and you should warn the vault residents that staying inside the vault could be lethal after this period. Everyone must leave the nest. It's imperative that all residents are focused on the important job of rebuilding America. At current count, 6 residents are under disciplinary lockdown. That's up from 4 last year. The morale officer has managed to quash the worst rumors about Appalachia, cannibal monsters, burning rain, whatever, but high tensions are in the area. It's generally pretty easy to maintain order. The pedigree of most of the residents is impressive, to say the least, but competence sometimes means arrogance, and arrogance means my authority gets tested, more often than it should. Hydroponics has been struggling to keep up with demand. I've been loath to institute mandatory rationing, but in 2101 that may be necessary. 76 is full to bursting with people, more than we anticipated. The award ceremonies are a great way of stroking the most hardened egos. Since everyone is so damn competitive, the low point was someone losing a tooth in a fight over the Best Dental Hygiene Award. Ironic. The senior staff has been exemplary, as always, very dependable and loyal. It's been a struggle to keep our overachievers placated, I don't fucking know. But another year down and we're still here. Do I get a gun? Well, at least they made the vault entryway room different. This is the biggest thing, is every single vault you find in Fallout 4 is the same entryway. Woo! Hey, Codsworth. No, nothing. Alright, bye, Codsworth.
They grow up so fast.
How old do you think I am? Getting out of here. Whoa. Yeah, you just see up my nose.
Man, if I hadn't jumped, I think my AP would have stayed where it was. Oh, wonderful. Come on, buddy. Woo! I think I need to make a pipe pistol because, yeah, I'm getting a lot of ammo for pipe pistols, but don't have a lot of anything else. Can you not see me because of the fog? Where are you going? Don't worry, I'm a-coming. I'm a-coming. I'm gonna get you. Ow, got him. So I'm not a particular fan of all this fog everywhere. But I am back again with more time to check out some of this stuff. Ooh. Gained a burst of speed there, almost flew off. So what we're trying to do right now, I need to figure out... Oh, I just made that guy fall off. Whoopsies. Oh, there's somebody below me. Yeah, that guy. Gonna have to switch to hand here pretty soon. But what I'm trying to do is make it to the other side of this bridge. I'm very overweight, and I need to drop some stuff, do some crafting, get rid of some stuff, all that good stuff. So we need a good place to set up camp. And I'm not really sure how the whole camp thing works. I don't know if I leave it behind, if people can loot it, or if it comes with me when I leave, because I don't even know if you end up on the same server again when you leave and come back. Because last I played, there were 2 of these over here. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of these names, and I really don't. Which leads me to believe that I'm on a different server. Okie dokie. So, I restarted the game because I increased the graphics quality real fast. Is this the same server? Ooh, it might not be. I wonder if it just puts you on a different server every time if you don't have friends. Sure wish I had friends. Yeah, these are different events, so I'm just on a different server now. Okay, well, whatever. Where am I? I am here. I need to go... Where do I need to go? Please hold. Data. Show on map. Oh, it like restarted the quest or something, so I have to do that again. Okay, well, I'll do that and we'll get into it. Listen to Overseer's log camp.
Overseer's log, south of Vault 76. I knew this wasn't going to be the Appalachia I remembered, but... mutated animals, haywire bots, and no people so far. We have
Oh, that's
to be
weird.
ready
It's
to
set me
rebuild.
back a ways for these quests.
What I can confirm is...
I guess that means I'll be able to get
hostile
XP for it again,
territory.
but that's kind of a shame.
Fortunately, Vault Tech was
Any,
prepared.
whatever.
You see this?
I
The
don't think
cooking
I can.
station, the stash box, the workbenches, all with the camp.
Yeah, I have to punch everything
Construction
now.
and assembly mobile.
Quest start. Request government airdrop. Oh, dude, hell yeah! Anyway, I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna get to the other side of the bridge. Then I guess I'll go down there and cross the underside. But I have to go back to the original camp that we were at before, just so that I can complete that quest. We want to put down my camp so I can drop a bunch of stuff. Aid. Which is lovely. Fire cap soup, delicious. Funnel cake. Meh, why not? Glowing meat steak, delicious. Going on a stick. Mountain honey, mutt chops. How many rataways do I have? 3. Oof. I will do this one. Eek. And purified water. Wonderful. Anywho's it. So I did a quick search as well. Oh my god, you're crazy fast. I'll punch you in the face. Yeah. Oh, I remember that's Peter. I was like, oh boy, an old possum. It gets me every time. I really wanted to just be an actual possum. Soap. God, I keep getting distracted. I am not good at fighting ghouls and talking at the same time. I want to complete this because this is now my third attempt at it because I raised the quality of the textures real fast, like I say, for funsies. Ooh, gold pocket watch. And I did a little bit of quick research on camps. There should be something over here. Oh yeah, it's over there. And now we gotta restart our thing, so we gotta get down. Oh, nope, that feels like you can fall through. I wish I could just, like, punch you, and you, like, go limp over the edge and just fall. That'd be fun. That'd be fun for me. But I am digging this pretty far, so far. It's got your typical kind of bugginess that you'd expect from an online game. Every online game always has a little bit of server lag. And that's all I've really seen so far. Enemies do a little bit of weirdness, which has more to do with the game trying to sync it up with everybody all at the same time than it does with the actual game itself. Pretty sure this game really just runs on a lot of Fallout 4 mechanics, but they were porting it to multiplayer or whatever they were doing to make it multiplayer. And obviously you're gonna have to, you know, make it work for what it is. I don't know if they restarted from scratch, if they started production of both games at the same time, or if they actually just took Fallout 4 and tried to restructure it to, you know, work with multiplayer. And if you're familiar with Skyrim Together, it's a mod for Skyrim where somebody is trying to, it's supposed to be a free mod, by the way, as well. It's supposed to come out pretty soon. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm gonna get that as soon as it's out for sure. But it's a mod for Skyrim that's supposed to make Skyrim multiplayer. And the problem that they have that makes that development so long and tedious, and I don't know if they've said it, but I know it's true, is because if they haven't said it, I know other developers have said it for other games that people have wanted to have for multiplayer. Anyway, to take a game that is single player and try to make it multiplayer is a lot harder than people would think. Down you go. Kerchunk. That's a long way down. Oh! Just watch it bounce away. Because there's fundamental differences between single player games and multiplayer games, and it mostly has to do with how AI and the game, the system, the server, whatever, recognizes as like the player and where the player is and the location. Because if you really think about it, no matter what, computers always know where you are at any given time. No matter how they program AIs, no matter how much they program an AI to try to make it seem like an AI is confused and doesn't know where you are, at the end of the day, computers always know where you are because the game knows where you are because you are there in the game. I am in this location and I am physically seeing it on the screen. As far as the game is concerned, nothing else exists. It's just me in this moment. And that's how most every single player game just kind of is. So you can, when you make an AI and try to be like, this AI doesn't know where you are, you almost have to fake it, you know, and pretend like the AI doesn't know where you are. And that's where they're developing like pathfinding and stuff like that. Because an AI, you know, you give it the ability, like a character or a creature, you give it the ability to sense you. You create the illusion of the AI not knowing where you are, so you have it in a spot, and by default it does nothing. Then you give it the ability to target you and sense your presence and have it come at you. But, you know, it's on a very basic level. You're at point A and it's at point D, and it's just going to take a straight path from D to A. Shortest path possible in a straight line. You create pathfinding, and when you create pathfinding, it's like, no, you have to go from D to C to B to A because there's things in the way, or there's like walls, and you shouldn't know that there's a person here because you can't see through walls. So based on this criteria or that criteria or whatever, you need to go from D to C to B to A because that's what it would be like in real life. Unfilled campfire, wonderful. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, at that point, it feels like the AI is more real. But it still, at the end of the day, is kind of an illusion, because the moment you come within range of an enemy so that it can target you, the computer knows where you are, the enemy knows where you are, especially with these Bethesda games. Like, you'll see it, you'll, like, make no noise or make the slightest noise, there'll be feral ghouls outside of a building, and all of a sudden the whole horde just pathfinds its way from the top of the building to the bottom of the building, then goes in the secret entrance and comes up some stairs to get to your exact location. Yeah, it had to pathfind its way around to reach that point. However, it still found you and kind of knew where you were. It just had to go from D to C to B to A, and that's kind of the best you can do. And with games like this, where it uses, you could say, like a D&D style stat system, it's a numbers system, obviously. They have to do that for stealth and everything, so they can't just be like, create an intelligence where this AI doesn't know where you are. It's just, they have to use numbers to simulate the idea that it doesn't know where you are. So if you go into sneak mode and you're sneaking around, sneak-snog all over the place, in order to create the illusion that you're losing the enemy, that he lost you and doesn't see you anymore, you have to, it uses criteria like, they created eyesight for AIs. So they say that you're not within the eyesight, which starts like a cooldown timer, and you're outside of this range, like say it's 200 meters, and it starts this cooldown, and as long as you're outside of these criteria, the enemy, it's not even that they don't know where you are, it's that they stop targeting you. They no longer are looking for you because the game has told them not to. So they're not finding their way to you anymore. And I honestly have no idea why I'm talking about this anymore. I've completely drawn a blank. Oh, what? No, I didn't want to play it. I kind of wanted to just take it. Good for me. I like the banjo, honestly. I want to learn how to play the banjo. And then I would upgrade to an electric banjo. If you've ever seen an electric banjo, they look badass as fuck. Why was I talking about the AIs? Oh, multiplayer games. So, and all of this, everything that I said, as complex as it is, this applies to single player. When you add a multiplayer aspect to a game, you have to completely change the premise of how the server works. You have to change the AI's targeting system entirely. So in a single player game, you are the focus of the game. But the moment you create a game that's multiplayer, that factor is no longer true. Every single person that's on that same server with you, playing with you, is now a factor in that game. And everybody has to be taken into consideration. Ooh, I gain a cap when I do that. That's awesome. Oh, I got hurt because of over-encumbrance. I'm just like, what was that? Now everybody has to be taken into consideration. And it's still the same concept. The AI still knows where everybody is all the time. But, again, they have to create that illusion, and they have to change how the targeting system works. Because in a single-player environment, you're the only thing that matters. It targets you, And as far as anyone's concerned, that could be the end of it. Now, obviously, games nowadays, because nowadays games are far more complex than they used to be, nowadays games will, some enemies target other enemies, some enemies target allies, enemies target you, enemies don't target you. Maybe you're the, maybe it's just like an out. Ooh. Heck yeah, I needed a knife. Can I equip that? Dang it! Ah, it's good quality. It's not as powerful as my combat knife, but I needed a weapon. Crud. Anyway, so the targeting system obviously is fundamentally different. It runs on the same concept as far as pathfinding and distance and all that good stuff, but it now has to take the criteria of multiple players. So it's not even necessarily that it's multiple targets. Fucking D. What is that sound? Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Am I seeing them, or is that dust that came down? Oh, it's like dust that falls from the ceiling. See, little details like that. That's awesome. But yeah, he practically like knows where I am. He hears me moving around, so he's just like, run, run, run. Is he? And he just came over here. There's no reason. In real life, if somebody heard a noise down here, they wouldn't all just come rushing out here like that. That's unrealistic. But this is just how it is in video games. It's not bad. This is, I mean, it's just kind of what we're used to. As long as, I mean, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever be able to simulate real life as in the concept of enemies just do not know where you are. I think it'll always be this targeting system where you're within a range and you met a certain criteria, so now they just know where you are. And you have to meet the criteria in order to no longer be targeted. I don't think that's ever going to really change. Oh, I guess I can just go up this way. I don't have to go all the way back over there. So it's weird. But yeah, so again, in multiplayer games, they have to change that. But they also have to change how the game is loaded, like how the world is hosted. Because now, with it being a server, you no longer necessarily have to host the entire game yourself. So the world is not being loaded on your computer. I mean, it is in one sense, but at the same time, it's not. You have one ultimate, that's what the server is. It's being hosted on the server. So that's different. Oh, I'm tired. There's still so many of you guys. Oh, there's too many of you guys. I need you guys to die. Whew. This is getting sticky. Boy, I need more of those. My God. I need aid. Can I get another rat away? Yes, please. Thank you. Good, that's just all of it. I don't want to use up all of that, though. Soup. That's good stuff. Spoiled meat. Gross. Stimpack. There we go. Good stuff. Thank you. I don't know. And mind you, I'm not a game developer, so I know it's even more intricate than what I'm saying, because games like this are complex as fuck. And people really don't give developers enough credit for how complex and hard it is to actually do all of this. People complain so much about the bugs and the glitches that go into this kind of stuff, but this isn't just this isn't Crash Bandicoot from, 1994 or 95 or whatever. This is a game that was made that's been developed since 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, whatever. These games are taking significantly longer to create. They're significantly bigger. They're significantly more complex. It's ridiculous. I'd like the blue one as opposed to the red one that I'm in. Anyway, point being, there are certain aspects to the server, the AI, how the game loads, how it processes, how it sends information to your graphics card and your hard drive and everything. And the fact that it needs to communicate with the internet that single-player games just don't need to do. Okay? So you have to add this whole aspect of the game, working on the internet. And then you have issues with syncing. So when you play a single-player game, you have a big, expansive world. Maybe your world is 5 miles in diameter. But in reality, since you are the only one playing the game, things only load within maybe a 500-meter radius of you. So as far as you can see. So I can see, all the way to the mountains over there. But if I zoomed in with a sniper, are there going to be monsters rolling around over there? No, they're going to come to, like, this tree line over here, Everything else pops into existence as I get closer to it. But single-player games, they only have to load things in where you are. With a multiplayer game, you not only need to make it to where it can load things individually at separate points that are not connected to each other, so like spheres, like that little red circle where the blast zone was, it'd be like that, but for everybody. Not only do you need to do that, but you also need to be able to sync it. So even though I'm not next to somebody across the map somewhere, if I were to suddenly teleport to them, the enemies that I see there are in the same location that they see them. They see them in the same place at the same time. And this is what I was talking about with the issues that they were having with the Skyrim Together mod, because it's just a bunch of regular people just trying to put it together, They couldn't just do it from the ground up. They had to take an existing engine, because they're not going to just redevelop Skyrim. That would take years. For a small team, like, it's ridiculous. You can't just unravel it and re-ravel it. You would have to recreate the whole thing. And there's still parts, aspects to that game that people just don't know about because it's so big and expansive. That's the great thing about Bethesda games. You can play them forever, and there's still things you've never done or seen. But because of that, it's fundamentally a single-player game. And so it just does not do certain things, and things that Skyrim just does not do. Or in this case, if you tried to make Fallout 4 multiplayer, or Fallout 3, New Vegas, whatever, Oblivion, Morrowind, any of these games, even like The Witcher, if you wanted to make that multiplayer somehow, fundamentally it just would not do certain things. Whoever is hosting the game, I guess, would have priority over it, but things load only where you are. If you add another person that's playing a separate game and you just happen to sync up over the internet or what say you, how are things going to load? And so the issue they run into is they are hunted. Waiting for enough players to start. No, thank you. I am busy. And so they were running into issues where even though they could see each other, which I'm sure that in and of itself took a long time for them to successfully do, they were not in sync for what they were seeing. NPCs weren't in the same place, monsters weren't in the same place, things just weren't in the same place. Because it's just, interesting. Ooh, and you don't have to sit through some bogus mining animation. Which would have made it realistic, but, I didn't want to. That's just grinding at that point. Anyway, it just wasn't in sync, because Skyrim as a single-player game is designed for things to be focused on one person, so with two people playing together at the same time, they're hosting the game separately, you could say, because it's technically a single-player game. There's not an online server that they're connected to like this. So, is this somebody's camp? Did I stumble into somebody's camp? Doesn't appear to be so. Oh no, this is somebody's camp. I'm gonna go ahead and get away from that. I don't want to piss anybody off. Anyway, that's just the trouble that they had, and it's not surprising because they're trying to basically take an engine that already exists and twist it to create a multiplayer game out of a single player game. And so they were struggling, and I think eventually they did work it to make it so that they would, you know, load things together and whatnot. Because they had to find a way to sync it up, you know? And it's just very hard to do if you're not doing it from the ground up. So you have other games like Shopkeep, if you've ever played that. Ooh, binoculars, that's interesting. Shopkeep was a cool game that I play. That was like that. Basically Shopkeep 2 is them saying, all right, you want multiplayer, but we don't want to try to tweak an existing game and break it. So we're just going to start from the ground up. We're going to recreate, and with them, they have the time because it's a development team, and it's a lot easier to create a game a second time than it is to create a game for the first time. And even then, it still took a long time because they obviously added new things, refined things, made it better, because you can't call it Shopkeep 2 if you don't make it better than the first one. But they wanted that to be multiplayer, so they started from the ground up, because they could have easily just updated the first one to have, you know, cooler stuff in it, but they didn't. They started from the ground up, and from the beginning designed their engine to be multiplayer. With this game, they have, and that's why I was a little unsure. I don't know with this game whether they started from the ground up or if they just tweaked Fallout 4, because they have so many assets from Fallout 4, but certain assets you can transfer, like this is a static object. You could transfer it from one to the other because this isn't the game's engine. This car is not the game's engine. This road's not the game's engine. The engine is the physics and the AIs and things. It's weird to explain, but so a lot of those games, Don't Starve is one of them. Again, Shopkeep was one of them. There's other games like that. I mean, this could technically be one of them. They couldn't just make their single-player game into a multiplayer game easily. It's possible, people are obviously doing it, but it would have been the biggest pain in the ass ever. So they didn't. They just restarted from the beginning. And I think that's fine. It gives them an opportunity to make a better game anyway, if they so choose.